7bet lažybos. 7bet. 7bet lažybos. 7bet. 7bet lažybos. 7bet.
Neatsakingas lošimas gali pakenkti tavo ir tavo šeimos geroviai.
I mean, frustrating loss. It's important to protect home court, so definitely frustrated that we didn't get it done. Just didn't execute, our game plan, especially defensively. We tried to do a couple things defensively that we haven't done this year, so it was a challenge for us, and like I said, just didn't execute. But got to give them credit. They made a lot of tough shots. You look at their statistics coming into the game; they weren't shooting well, and tonight they blew the nets off. So you got to give them a lot of credit. Just got to watch the film and get better.
First 15 minutes were decent for you guys, but what happened after the first 15 minutes?
Like I said, I mean, you got to give them credit. They responded every time. We felt like we were, trying to pull away or going to make a run. They hit big shots, and then offensively we were just a little bit stagnant. The ball kind of got stuck sometimes, and we didn't really play with our flow.
You mentioned the defense plan that you come up with before this game. What were the main ideas about this plan?
I mean, if you watch our previous 4 games, we were kind of doing a lot of, kind of weak defense, keeping guys to their weak hand and kind of staying home on shooters. And tonight we were, hedging a little bit more and, tried to take away their pick and pop from guys like Booker and Richie. But, then the other guys kind of got going throughout the game. So, like I said, something we haven't done, a lot this year and something that we'll learn from going forward.
You mentioned that the stagnancy in the offense. What could be the reason?
Again, when you're not getting stops, you're taking the ball at the net a lot, that attributes to it. And then just not executing, plays. It's kind of been a theme all year, kind of guys forgetting plays and, not being in the right spot. So, like I said, it comes down to execution, and at this level, the margins are small. So, we just got to do a better job. We got to tighten up on both ends and, like I said, get better going forward.
We have to give credit to Arnas. 20 points in 9 minutes.
Man, it was unbelievable. It was one of the craziest, 9-10 minute stretches I've seen. He's been putting a lot of work. He's been shooting the ball crazy. So, happy for him. He definitely deserves it.
I mean, 6 3-pointers out of 6. How it's tough. Even for the guards, but especially for forwards.
Like I said, unbelievable. You always happy for a guy who works so hard, especially on defense. To get rewarded on the offensive end. So, he's definitely a capable shooter, and hopefully he keeps shooting like that.
Did you notice that MJ shrug?
Yeah.
How did you like that?
That's what he looked like out there. That's what it looked like. Like I said, it was fun to watch.
Talking about those 2 losses, what kind of things you can emphasize, and what lessons can you take from them?
I mean, again, I just think it comes down to execution. At this level, like I said, the margins are so small. You're playing against high-level teams every night in the EuroLeague, and the competition is, so high. So you got to execute on both sides. It's the smallest details, and that's what makes the big differences.
Milano was without like 3 main players, like starters. Did it give some easy feeling before the game?
No, not at all. I mean, I think it makes guys play with a lot of confidence because there's no one to come in for them. Guys know that they're going to play a lot of minutes, and it kind of loosens up that feeling knowing that you can make a couple of mistakes and play through it. I've been on the other end. I remember the COVID year playing a full Ceska team, and we only had like 5 guys from the main team in Madrid, and we beat them at home, and it was just a free feeling. Feel like you got nothing to lose. So you got to give those guys credit. They came in and played well and took advantage of their opportunity.
Now Barcelona coming up, away game. What are the main thoughts? What are the main things from psychological perspective, to be better and to get that win after 2 losses?
I mean, I definitely think the motivation should be at an all-time high. You come off 2 losses, definitely the motivation to be there. And then obviously playing a super talented team at home with a lot of offensive firepower. So it's going to be a great test for us, and I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go on the practice court.